Be much of a factor when you look at how dark it is. Like I said before, you can see pretty good well on the near side of the field. That far corner is really going to be the problem. Kickoff goes out of bounds. North Posey elects to take the ball at the 35-yard line.
It actually kind of looks like Enloe, Doug. I've talked about the not-so-good lighting at Enloe Field, with this and probably Central being the best lit stadiums in Evansville.
And really right now, North Posey's not too worried about that because they're going to be going the other way.
North Posey has the ball first, opening 6 seconds of our Thursday night high school football. Like I said at the top of the telecast, this is the only high school football game tonight in the state of Indiana. Why, you ask? Well, Reitz was scheduled and will play on Friday. And instead of playing on a Saturday or 4 o'clock on Friday afternoon, both Frank Will and Joe Jinglebach agreed that this would be the best option. Not a bad crowd to begin the postseason. And our first look at North Posey tonight and their running game like we talked about.
Mark Hanna right there on the quarterback option, elected to keep it as he was going towards the far side of the field, tried to take it around, and a great play right there coming up from his safety position, David Choi.
Very impressive offensive bunch, these Vikings.
And I think right now the big key as far as North Posey is they're going to have to come out and really try to dominate early in the game. We talked about the strong offensive line up front for North Posey, Chris Singleton, Nathan Vickers, the tackles, Nathan Stone, Phil Stone, the centers, and Eddie Nottingham, the center.
They go to the air for the 34th time of the year, and it's picked off. That's Mater Dei's first big break of the ball game, and they're inside the 20.
Well, we talked about the ability, or really the lack of ability. Not a lot of passes on the season for North Posey. Only 33 attempts, 12 completions on the season.
That's
right
36%,
away.
And I'm surprised they put it to the air that early, Doug.
Right away, you could see Hanna drop back. I think maybe trying to surprise Mater Dei a little bit. On a great defensive play there, Jason Foles, 6 feet, 155, and a junior, stepped right in from his quarterback position. First and 10, Mater Dei now from the North Posey 20.
Yes, we are going the other way in the opening 2 minutes. At Reitz Bowl, a little bit darker that side of the field. Again, a bank of lights is out to the far side. Mater Dei works with it.
And I think Mater Dei, as we've seen much of the season, is going to do a good job mixing up the offense, the running game with the passing game. Interestingly, as we said at the top of the show, Nathan Gable getting a start at quarterback, 6'2", 200 pounds, and a senior. Jeff McDermott, the fullback, Brett Side, the tailback.
So many offensive weapons, and Joe Jinglebach also mentioned that in the paper this morning. Very concerned. Wideouts either side on 2nd and 8. Nathan Gable again the starting mark. Ball batted into the air. Very fortunate it did not go into the hands of Mr. Chase Akers.
Offensively for the Mater Dei Wildcats, we mentioned the backfield. The flanker, Greg Imge, will also shuttle in David Choi. Across the front line, Jacob Mayer, the split end, Jim Fetcher, the tight end. Greg Schubel, Jason Martin, Don Mosley, Brandon Cox, and Steve Beck across the front.
I would probably say, in this area, Doug, nobody puts the ball in the air more than Mater Dei, and nobody runs the ball more than North Posey. Again, North Posey, 36% effective. On the ground, Mater Dei pulls a trick. Inside the 5.
Brett Seib on the carry right there, and that's something they really did well this year as far as establishing a good running game. 472 yards on the ground for Seib on the season, scored 2 touchdowns.
472 yards, 119 carries for Seib this year. Your most effective on the ground. First down, goal to go. Ball on the 3. Wideouts again either side for Nathan Gable. The postseason has begun. Out to about maybe the 1. No, they say touchdown. And the first to the Mater Dei Wildcats.
Jeff McDermott, 5'11", 180, and a junior from his fullback position, straight up the middle. And I talk about the strength of that North Posey front line. Mater Dei has done a good job across the front line with their team as well.
An interception results in an opening minute tragedy for the Vikings. 9:45 left here in the first quarter. And the Wildcats getting set to go up 7-0. Forget about 1 and 7. For the most part, I think you could say Mater Dei has already forgotten because your second season begins here tonight.
I think probably the majority of the players realize that. A lot of the seniors, I think, probably a little disappointed, maybe down because of the results of this year. When you look at how many close games they were involved in.
7-0 in favor of Mater Dei. The 1993 sectional playoffs. Class 2A, sectional 32. Mater Dei, North Posey on TV 52.
During the Expressway Dodge Oktoberfest, we thought that something might be haunting you, like owning a 94 Intrepid. Well, a spell has been cast. Every Intrepid has been priced in order to disappear. 94 Intrepid with V6 automatic power locks, power windows, dual airbags, air conditioning, AM/FM stereo, the best warranty in the business and more can be yours for as low as $18,994. Don't wait. Our lots are loaded. The witching hour is approaching, and with lowest prices guaranteed, there's nothing to fear.
In a world of ever-changing standards, goals, and values, it's reassuring to know that some things never change. Things like when you have your family and your health, you have everything. Deaconess is the right decision.
North Posey has never beaten Mater Dei. Then again, this is just the fourth meeting between the two schools. The others coming in the 1980s. Mater Dei on the board first in this affair. First game of the sectional, 7-0 Wildcats.
And I think that kind of tells you that it's going to be very important for both ball clubs tonight to play as close to a perfect game as you can. A big turnover right there, and that put Mater Dei on the board first.
Back to the ground game. Chase Akers trying to break the 25 is taken back.
Expect to see a pretty good job defensively from Mater Dei tonight. I think they've read all the headlines about North Posey in the running game. But you look across the front line, they have done a good job all season long. Craig Wunderlich right there, one of the defensive tackles to make the first initial hit. Schrader and Mayer are at the defensive ends. Greg Schubel, the other tackle. Brandon Cox up front, the nose guard. The linebackers, Brett Side, Jim Fetcher, Jeff McDermott, Eric Weininger, Jason Foles, the cornerbacks, and David Choi, the safety.
Hanna pitches it out to the outside. Akers, is that a live ball? They say yes. Here come the Wildcats. 2 breaks for them in the opening quarter. And they are up 13-0.
Just what I said, you can't make mistakes once you get into the playoffs. And even though Mater Dei came in, I think most of the coaches in the Class 2A system figured that they were still going to be the team to beat despite their 1-7 record.
Twice on passes, Doug. This is not a passing team. Why are they doing it tonight?
Well, that was just a quarterback option where we saw Hanna going along and Chase Akers, the tailback, falling right behind him. And it's a quarterback's option to decide when to get rid of it or to keep it and take it back up towards the end. But a big 2 turnovers right there against the North Posey. Mater Dei has really taken advantage of those. They now lead 14-0.
My, oh my. 8:51 left in the opening quarter. It's the Wildcats in the postseason. Familiar? Back out to Reitz Bowl after this timeout.
14-0. Try to find some running room out to the 45. The most success they've had, and Chase Akers is the best one to do it.
Really the first time they've had a chance to get anything going, and we've talked about how they've really done a good job all season long. Pickup of 11 on that play by Akers out to the 45, their first down. And a big 2 turnovers against the North Posey Vikings that has given Mater Dei an early lead.
First down and 10 as they approach midfield. Vikings down 14-0 to the Wildcats. Akers nowhere to go. North Posey has rushed for a school record 2,555 yards this season, averaging about 7.5 yards per carry. The Vikings, like I said, have only thrown 33 passes coming into this game. Their strength, the ground game.
And right now they have not really been able to do anything with that ground game. Came out the first set of downs, ran 2 running plays, went to the air, which they have not done much this year. Had an interception. That put Mater Dei 1st and 10 from the North Posey 20. They scored on the 4th possession, or 4th play of that possession. Then North Posey got the kickoff, ran 1 play and a fumble recovery. That's where we stand 14-0 now, Wildcats.
Big Jared Oriski picks up 5, be 3rd down and 6 after the loss. Oriski at 6'2", 230 pounds. When it's not into the hands of Akers, many times Oriski this year. Akers averages about 22 carries per game and gets a little bit more than 8 yards per carry. That's an average. On 3rd and 6, Akers again breaks the 50. A loose ball, but they're going to say it was dead.
Good hit right there coming up from the defensive secondary. One of the linebackers, Brett Side, 6'2", 195 and a senior, made a big hit right there. And I think the ball came loose as Akers went down to the ground.
So on 4th and 3, North Posey held on to it this time. They will be kicking two backed up inside the 20 for the Wildcats. Akers coming into tonight needs 66 yards to break North Posey's single-season record of over 1,500 yards, 1,585 set by John Puchins back in 1981. Takes a modern-day bounce at about the 30. First and 10 for the Wildcats, and 6:50 here to go, and an exciting first quarter for Mater Dei.
Really, second opportunity now that we've had to see the Mater Dei offense. Only 4 plays, as I mentioned, that last possession that they had when they scored the first touchdown. Jeff McDermott from 3 yards out. He picked up a fumble, ran 18 yards for the second touchdown. And again, we might mention Mater Dei new quarterback. What most people are used to seeing David Shoy calling the signals. Nathan Gable, the senior, getting the start tonight.
6:35 left in the opening quarter. Ground game from the Wildcats. Impressed with many on the ground this year. Probably just as much so with Jeff McDermott. I talked about Seib earlier.
And I think you kind of look at Jeff similar to the way you look at O'Risky for North Posey. They basically are the fullback, and they go through the line as far as a blocking personnel for the tailback when you look at Seib and what Akers has done all season. But McDermott, we've seen all season long, is another guy that you can go to in the backfield.
And even through the air, McDermott, 23 catches, 166 yards this year. That's an average of about 7.5. And go with what works. Seib out to about the 39 on 2nd and 4. Still going to be short of the first.
Defensively across the front line for the North Posey Vikings, Nathan Stone, Fred Cook, Nathan Vickers, Chris Singleton. The linebackers, Rudy Wagner, Chase Akers. The outside linebackers, Jared O'Risky, Ryan Craig. The inside linebackers, Ryan Marble and Bobby Fallowfield, the cornerbacks, and Ryan Rapp, the safety.
You know, you're going down those names for North Posey. A lot of familiar athletes on that roster, Doug. They just don't play football at North Posey.
Well, you recognize a lot of them from our coverage during last year's sectional during basketball season. You're going to see a lot of familiar names. Much like the sports in Evansville, you're going to see multi-sport athletes all season.
Going to be good enough for a first down here for Mater Dei. What a successful first quarter. And I'm sure already going through the mind of Frank Will and these Wildcats, the great start they got off against the Harrison Warriors, and we know how that one ended up.
And I think probably for North Posey, they know that they can be a good comeback team from behind. 2 weeks ago, they were trailing South Spencer 7-0, and then they scored 16 fourth quarter points to get that 16-7 win.
Been a ground game by the Wildcats. A summer surprise. That's Brett Seib up and over the 50-yard line.
Pick up of about 7 on the play as he breaks midfield, gets into North Posey territory. Ball spotted at the 49.
You know, to be quite honest with you, Doug, Mater Dei's biggest problem in 1993 is they haven't played a full game, not 4 solid quarters. I've seen it time and time again.
I think probably there's 3 or 4 games when you look at the schedule that obviously they could have won. I think probably the one that comes to mind is the one we saw here on 52 against Harrison about 4 weeks ago.
Trying to get to the 45. That's going to be good enough for another Wildcat first down. And they're doing it on the ground, and I've seen them do it particularly early in the season, or earlier, Doug.
And I think that is one way that you can really come out and try to establish a surprise type of offense. I'm sure that Joe scouted a couple times the Mater Dei Wildcats, and they exchange films once you get into postseason to where each club has an opportunity to see the other one before you actually play. And I'm sure that he knew coming out, because they are so offensively oriented and they've got so many different weapons they can go to, you're going to see a good running game. That's also going to open up the passing game for them.
What are other coaches saying, or what are the coaches saying about the Mater Dei Wildcats coming into this sectional? They think they are the favorite. John Evers over at South Spencer because of their schedule strength for one.
I think that has a lot to do with it, and we've talked about that before during our regular season coverage. Because they are playing the Class 4A and 5A teams, that really gives them good preparation once they hit postseason.
Jason Foles, the 6-foot junior.
Opportunity to see Jason in the backfield at the slot position. And we talk about really the different numbers that they've got to work with. You've got Seib McDermott in the backfield. Greg Emge switching places right now. Coming in flanker position, you've also got Fetcher at the tight end, Jacob Mayer, the split end.
Second down, less than 1 here for the Wildcats. They are up 14-0 on 7 7-1 North Posey for the short yardage. Mater Dei picks up another first down. Coach LaGrange over at Southridge may have also put it best coming into this week when talking about Mater Dei. They are in a completely different league than most of us in this section.
And I think people realize that, and Mater Dei might take that for granted up till they get to the playoff times. I talked about maybe some disappointment when you look at the 1-7 record. And again, you look really how that really materialized all season long. They were involved in just about every game that they played.
Jason Foles, a sweep to the outside. Gets out to about the 26. How many offensive weapons? Many.
Pick up a 6 right there for Foles all the way up to the 26-yard line. And you could tell a good week of practice for the Mater Dei Wildcats. Offensive coordinator Mike Gable, I talked to him a little bit before the game. I said, how you doing? He says, well, right now I'm not really sure, because he knows that North Posey had a very good season. But I think that he had a lot of confidence in his kids. They had a good week of practice.
And I don't think it was overconfidence coming in by North Posey either. They're having their best season in quite a while. I talked about Joe Jinglebach at the top of the telecast. He comes in his 24th year as head coach of the Vikings. 114 wins, 109 losses, and a tie back in 1971. His first year, 1970, and some impressive seasons, including that 81 team where he went 10-2. And here in the 90s, every year has been a little bit better for North Posey football. They were 1-8 in 1990, up their record to 3-6 in 91, 5-5 in 92, 7-1 and counting in 92.
Pickup of about 4 on that last play. He's going to be close enough for a measurement. You can see the ball about on the 23-yard line of North Posey. Foles on the carry again.
I think both coaches come in veterans and tell their teams, you don't want to forget about the regular season, what got you here, and what you did right in the regular season. But right now, this is your most important game. One that some may have been looking ahead to during weeks 7 and 8, Doug.
And I think really when you look at how both of these teams got to this point, and postseason is really kind of a fresh start for all the clubs once you get into the class system and you can forget about your regular season. But you prepare pretty much for the playoffs all season long, and you kind of experiment each week as you go out.
Out to the 15-yard line. You needed 1 yard to get there. There's your one and a whole lot more. Another first down and 10 for the Wildcats. And this impressive ground game, like I said, during week number 1 and 2, impresses me.
It's been basically everything on the ground with the exception of one pass play. That was in that first possession that they had starting from their own 20. They ran one running play, got to about the 18. Gable went to the air, tried to get something over in the corner, incomplete pass. Everything else has been on the ground.
First and 10, Mater Dei has owned the football here in the second half. There is Sibe across the 10.
Actually going to spot him outside the 10 as his knee went down about the 11-yard line, so a pickup of 4. Second down now and 6.
Sibe on the ground, Foles on the ground. Gable keeping it there. Foles back in there on 2nd and 5 here for the Wildcats. 1:40 and counting here to go in the opening quarter. If you're just joining us late on this Thursday night, Mater Dei up on North Posey 14-0. Wideouts either side. Keep your eye on Fetcher and McDermott. Favorite quarterback targets of 93. Trying to get to the 5.
Jeff McDermott, the ball carrier again, and you can tell right now that the backs are looking for the holes. They know where the first down markers are. Jeff extended himself over the 5-yard line just inside to pick up the first down.
First and goal, and less than 5 here for the Wildcats. They have owned the football here in the first 11 minutes. North Posey side in somewhat of a shock. But like you said, Doug, they've come from behind already this year. You don't get to 7-1 by playing poor football. I don't care who you're playing. Wildcats held back on the outside. And you hear so much about the North Posey offense. What about this defense, which also wins you games?
Pretty tough as far as the middle linebackers and also the front line. Jared O'Risky leads this club in tackles with 74. Ryan Craig, one of the inside linebackers right there. 29 tackles on the season. He made initial contact right there.
Your screen at home will get a little bit brighter as they fix that bank of lights for a second time so far tonight. Second down and 5 for Mater Dei. Again, wideouts either side. It's been a ground game by Nathan Gable. Back to Foles. Foles inside the 5, maybe to to about the 2 on the forward motion of Jason.
Good offensive drive, and it, again, has been everything on the ground. You're using up a lot of clock. That's going to probably be the last play of our first quarter. You're not giving the offense for North Posey a lot of time on the field.
First 12 in the book. What a quarter for the modern-day Wildcats. On a school night, no less. The high school football sectionals have begun on TV 52.
For the first time in 1993, we welcome you to the postseason.
They're not enjoying North Posey football too much right now. Vikings trailing 14-0. 2 big turnovers led to Modern Day's first 2 scores. An interception put them on 1st and 10 at the 20, and then a fumble recovery by Jeff McDermott gave them the second touchdown, 14-0. Getting ready to score again. It looks like second and goal from about the 3.
Knocking on the door of another. 14-0 the Wildcats. Another great quarter. Inside for the touchdown. 3 up and 3 in for the Wildcats. Right now their lead is 20-0.
Jeff McDermott again, that is his 3rd touchdown tonight. Second rushing, he was also the one that picked up the fumble. Went 18 yards for the second touchdown.
1 year to do the holding, able to do the kicking.
And your confidence can't be erased if you're the Vikings. This is your season. Flags fly before this one is launched by Gable. Opening seconds of our second quarter, and 20-0 in favor of Modern Day.
And indications appear it's going to be against North Posey. Encroachment or defensive offsides. And right now, question mark for Modern Day. Do you want to go for 2 because you're going to push it that much closer to the end zone?
You know, the way this game has gone so far, I say why not? You're not going to lose much momentum if you don't get it, and you're up 20-0.
And they have been able to really do the job just about every time that they've had the ball. Not really a lot of time because the defense scored the second touchdown, but they took 4 plays, started at their own, or from the North Posey 20, McDermott with his first touchdown, and a big drive right there. They started from their own 31-yard line. It took them 15 plays.
Wideout split either side, but they attempted to run that one in. It didn't work. 20 on the board for the Wildcats. 11:58 here to go in our second quarter. On a Thursday night, the sectionals begin. High school football on TV 52.
Sectional 32, Class 2A.
Modern Day in North Posey, 20-0 Wildcats.
It is all Modern Day right now. 1st and 10 now for North Posey from their own 30-yard line. And Chase Akers and company not really getting off to a good start. 2 big turnovers, 1 an interception, 1 a fumble recovery that was run back for a touchdown. Only 1 big run so far by Akers, 11 yards. That was good for their only first down.
They're back to keep it on the ground. They break the 30. And pick up a couple on the ground. Modern Day very busy right now in postseason, not just football. Their volleyball sectionals going on as the Lady Wildcats try for their 16th straight volleyball sectional. And the Modern Day soccer team on Saturday morning will be attempting to go to the soccer regional and advance to Indianapolis for the first time ever in their soccer history. So Modern Day fans have plenty to cheer about this week. On 2nd and 8, North Posey would like something to cheer about tonight. Nothing yet.
And right now they have not really been able to establish any type of running game. Jim Schrader, one of the defensive ends right there to make the stop on Akers. Picked up maybe 2 on the play out to about the 34, so you're looking at a 3rd down and about 6.
I mentioned North Posey's never beaten Modern Day in the 3 times they've played them. North Posey has never beaten an Evansville school. 3rd down and 5 for the Vikings. From the eye again comes Anna. Back to reliable Chase Akers. And Akers has had a little success so far tonight, as you alluded to that as we came back.
And right now, Modern Day is doing a good job getting everybody around the ball. Jacob Mayer, the other defensive end on the opposite side of Schrader. Also Fetcher in there to make a stop. Up across the 35 to about the 37. Still going to be short, and another 4th down situation for the Vikings.
2 for the Wildcats, backed up inside the 30. 20-0 Modern Day on 4th and 2. Vikings get rid of it. And Not a bad kick at all. That one finally takes a North Posey bounce. Into the hands of Jacob Mayer. Mayer's out to the 37-yard line, or it's 1st and 10 for the Wildcats.
And everything that Mater Dei has done tonight has worked. Defensively, they've gotten the 2 big turnovers. Offensively, they scored both times that they've had the ball. A very impressive drive that last possession. 15 plays. They went 69 yards. Surprisingly, everything on the ground.
South Spencer and Gibson Southern. Maybe sometime tonight or tomorrow, taking a look at this one. That is the winner of this game facing the winner of that game on Friday night. South Spencer, Gibson Southern. Back on the ground, it is Mr. Sides' night. Up and over the 50-yard line.
Pick up a 13 and another Mater Dei first down. And we talked about the running attack of this Mater Dei ball club. Sibe has been really the big ground gainer all season long, but you look at what Jeff McDermott's done. Greg Emby, the flanker, also an opportunity, and occasionally when you do see him go to the air, those guys can come out of the backfield and be good receivers too.
9.5 remaining till halftime. Mater Dei up 20-0 on 7-1 North Posey. First time in a while to the air. Gable almost underthrew, but into the hands of McDermott.
You look at their offensive attack, 19 plays from scrimmage through the first 2 possessions. They only threw 1 pass. Now the second pass of the ball game. Pickup of about 3 on the play.
You mentioned North Posey only throwing 33 times coming into this and 12 completions. Their opponents have thrown over 100 times. Actually, they have it down to 107. And successful 40 times through the year. Interesting stat coming in. To about the 35 for another Wildcat first down.
Brett Sibe, and right now the offensive line for Mater Dei is really creating the holes for Sibe and McDermott. Also Jason Foles, we've seen him a few times on the ground carrying the ball. Pick up a 10, about the 37-yard line now for Mater Dei, another first down.
8.5 left till halftime. Mater Dei having their way so far in the first half. Wideouts again either side. Gable to the air a couple of times. That's been it. This has been one part, and he followed on the ground, and Jeff McDermott inside the 15.
And it kind of makes you think that the other coaches involved in this Class 2A knew what they were talking about when they said Mater Dei still, regardless of their 1-7 record coming in, they are going to be one of the tough teams to beat.
Well, let's go back, Doug. When I came back to Evansville in 1990, the great season they had then, the 0-8 in almost state year. Talking about the regular season compared to the postseason. They surprised a lot of people then, too.
Well, going back and looking at their schedule, and again, that has been one of the strong points each and every year once they get into the postseason play, because they play the stronger teams, the Class 3, 4, and 5As. They lost the first game of the season 21-13 against Central. They came back, beat Memorial the second week 21-15, lost at North, lost at Posey, lost to Harrison, which they led most of that season. In fact, they led 20-6 going into the fourth quarter.
Back to the air. There is Shoy hanging on the goal line. And like I said at the top of the telecast, David Shoy is one of the best receivers on this team.
Very good hands, and I think it's kind of weird for maybe some of the TV viewers at home not seeing David behind the center calling the signals, but we've seen a couple times this year where Nathan Gable has come in, and you look really at his size, maybe a little bit taller, maybe a little bit more experienced when you look at 6'2 versus 6'1. A lot of times that's not going to make a big difference.
First and goal to go. Wildcats, another touchdown. 26-0, Mater Dei.
You kind of figure how much longer is this going to go. You kind of wonder, North Posey is going to start to wake up sometime, but right now it is a very strong offense for Mater Dei that is doing the job. The defense has really done a good job shutting down North Posey's offense.
So Nathan Gable for the point after. This is almost unbelievable to the point where you knew Mater Dei was a great team, but North Posey's off to a a strange, slow start. That point is no good either. My advice to North Posey, you've got a great offense, and Mater Dei has blown big leads before. With 7:08 remaining, we will keep it here and talk about that aspect.
Well, I think that they came out and they were very pumped up. You could see as soon as North Posey started the offense, they won the toss, elected to receive. They received after the toss of the coin, and you could see that the defense really pumped up for the Wildcats. They started playing very aggressive, and the first couple of possessions, the ground game was there for North Posey, but they really didn't gain anything. Akers gained 2 yards on his first carry. O'Risky, the second carrier of that possession, didn't gain anything. Then they went to the air, and a big interception right there by Jason Foles.
As we told you earlier, North Posey's only loss was to the Patriots of Heritage Hills, 49-25. And according to many here, including Chase Akers, was quoted as saying, "We self-destructed that game. It can't happen here, and it's got to begin now because you're down 26-0. And begin here on the 28, 1st and 10.
And I think they're going to have to obviously maybe try something else. The offensive line was going to be one of their strong points coming in when you look at the strength and the success that they've had all season long. When you get that much yardage through the season, you've got to have some pretty good guys in that front to open up the holes.
Under 7 minutes here to go. 6:55 till halftime. 26-0, Mater Dei. Henner again worked from the eye. And that still surprises me for a team that has not done that for 90% of this season.
Well, I think they have to do something different, like I said, and even if that's to come out and throw. On the season, they've only had 33 passes attempted, 12 completions. When you look at Hannah's numbers, he's 11 for 30, 152 yards, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Bobby Fallowfield has been one of his favorite targets. Marty Fisher, Jason Simmons. When he's gone to the air, Hannah in some trouble.
Pressure right there really coming from both sides of the line defensively. Jacob Mayer, Jim Schrader, also Craig Wunderlich in there, pushing them back inside the 25 to the 24.
There's another kid, a senior who deserves some more press, is Craig Wunderlich.
5'11", 235, and that is the size you look up front when you look at Wunderlich. Also Greg Schubel, he's 6'4", 250 and a senior. And that's what I was talking about earlier, the struggles and some of the frustration for some of these seniors to play so well during the regular season and only get one win.
Chase Akers across the 30 on 3rd and 15. You're still a bit short, and you are kicking. Stopping Akers, stopping O'Risky, and stopping a passing game that wasn't there for 2 months. Mater Dei has done that and put 26 points on the board. 5:45 left here in the half, and on 4th and 8, again, the Vikings kick it away. 2 back over the 35 for the Wildcats. What a horrendous half for the Vikings. Signaling for the fair catch, Jacob Mayer. They begin on about the 40-yard line, and 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. 5:32 remaining here in the half. That's plenty of time for them to walk in another.
And the way that they've been moving the ball offensively, they've still got a lot of time with 5.5 minutes. Basically in a ground attack for most of the first quarter. They've gone to the air about 3 or 4 times so far tonight. And I think, as we talked about North Posey coming in, they did a lot of running, but if it's working, you're not going to really get away from that too much. You're going to stick with that same attack.
Brett Seib to the 45. About half the distance for another first down. Frank Will admitting in this morning's paper also that a quick turnaround is definitely possible. Again, talking about the 1990 Wildcats. Don't forget, Frank Will has had some success and is 19 years of coaching too out here.
And you do not become a big powerhouse like Mater Dei has been in the Class 2A without having a lot of tradition and a lot of good people working with the kids. And you look really what Frank and his staff has done year in and year out. They are always one of the better competition, and I think most coaches, as we've talked about, expect him to be one of the big ones going into the playoffs.
Frank Will came into tonight's game 108 wins, 93 losses. Again, now in his 19th year. His first year was in 1975 with the Wildcats went 4-6. His best in 1984, 11-1 for the Wildcats. And the one he did not want to talk about in 1992, last year, where the team went 1-8. Sive tries to get to the 50, will settle for the 49. Going to be close again to a first down.
And I think if they give him his forward progress, that should be enough for a first down. He needs to get just about to the 49-yard line, and this one is close enough to the 50. But we've also got an injury with one of the modern-day players down on the ground.
Want to take a little time out here, Doug, and let people know that our prayers are with Brad Ames and his family. Of course, the North senior who is in the hospital right now, listed in critical condition.
And I think that was a big blow to not just the North High School team, but everybody involved with high school athletics in the Evansville surrounding area. To have something like that happen, received a concussion a couple weeks ago, did not play last week at all, and really had gotten clearance for the first time just to go on the field. And they were having a non-contact practice, as everybody knows about, and started feeling a little woozy, started working his way off the sidelines.
Anybody who knows Ames knows he's a good, strong kid. Brad, our prayers are with you. Get well soon. First and 10 here for the Wildcats. Clock stop with 4:17 remaining. 26-0 Mater Dei. Wideouts again either side. And Nathan Gable again works from the eye and hands it right there on the ground again to Jason Foles.
Sweep around the end, a flag on the play, also a loose ball. It appears that North Posey has come up with the ball just outside the 40-yard line.
They're looking for their first break. And this could be it.
Offensive holding the call against the Mater Dei Wildcats, and North Posey, you kind of figure, will decline this penalty, and they'll take the play right there, so they're going to get their first opportunity to try to get something going.
Not a lot to celebrate either.
But that might be something that you look for as far as momentum going in at halftime. There's 4 minutes left in the second quarter, and really the first big break that they've had offensively or defensively, starting just outside their own 40.
Like I said, on their side is their great offense, the Vikings offense, and that of Mater Dei has not played 4 good quarters all season long. They've blown it, so to speak. Jared Oriski across the 40.
Akers gets a lot of press, and for good reasons when you look at his numbers coming in. Over 1,500 yards on the ground, but Oriski, another one that if you give the ball to, he can get some valuable yardage. 67 carries on the season, 349 yards. He's averaging a little over 5 yards per carry. Has also scored 8 touchdowns.
Not bad at all. Like I said, they've got that great offense. But perhaps tonight they're playing their most talented team in 1993. Is going to try the pass again. The deepest he has gone, almost not good enough, and Marty Fisher, like I said, one of his 3 favorite targets in the regular season.
Kind of a different look offensively with 3 backs in the backfield behind Hanna. Marty Fisher, 5'10", 179, and a senior.
3 catches this year, 42 yards, and has scored 3 touchdowns, the most of any receiver. I talked about Fisher, Bobby Fallowfield, and Jason Simmons. So 3rd and 10 here for North Posey. Nothing yet. 3:16 left till halftime. And Mater Dei working on a 26-0 score. Enter again to the air. Fallowfield. In and out. And I'll tell you what, Hannah's very lucky that was not picked off.
Good defensive coverage right there, man-to-man. Eric Weniger, 5'11", 175, and a senior. Kind of was playing right there and knew that the ball was coming. He had an advantage over the receiver, as able to see the quarterback release the ball, and you could tell that he was reading it, went up, tried to get the interception.
Great half, great crowd on hand tonight on a Thursday night, high school football. Take a North Posey bounce and die about the 25-yard line, where it's 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. You know, Frank Will said this morning he doesn't mind Thursday night games. He prefers those, of course, to Saturday, which is why we're here on a Thursday night.
And I think if you ask probably the majority of the coaches in the city and around the tri-state area, they don't like Saturday night games, and I think that's obvious, and it might be something that the school corporation might be able to look at. A lot of times it takes away from the crowd if there's a lot of activities going on during the weekend. So if you schedule a Thursday night game, you can still get the good crowd. The students will come out as well.
Like I said, Mater Dei also needs to support that soccer team. They could be in the regional championship on Saturday night, looking to go to Indianapolis in soccer for the first time ever. There is Foles getting close to the 35. Another sweep to the outside, and he's done that very well tonight.
And I think right now that might be one of the surprises that Mater Dei is using. When you look at their running attack, we talked about the numbers on side coming in. You look at Jeff McDermott, he's done good all season long. But Foles, we have not had a lot of opportunity to see him in the backfield.
Like I said, what a great time to be a Mater Dei athletic fan. Let's face it, the girls are going to win their 16th sectional in volleyball. And if this holds up, Mater Dei advances to week number 2 of the postseason. Soccer team also looking to go above and beyond. Overshooting this time, Jacob Mayer. And around the 50-yard line, it'll be 3rd down and 2 for the Wildcats.
Chase Akers, one of the linebackers coming out, man-to-man coverage on the split end. Jacob Mayer, 6 feet, 190, and a senior.
Frank Will on the competition also was quoted as saying, in our sectional, we don't have a lot of talent, but each team brings along enough just to scare you. North Posey, it's Akers and Oriski, but they have been held down. Flags fly before this play gets going on 3rd and 2, 2:13 left till halftime.
Coming from the near side of the field, usually is going to be something along the front line. It's going to be encroachment, defensive offsides called against the Vikings.
You know what we knew about the Vikings coming in here, Doug? Picking up the paper every Saturday morning and seeing how they handled the competition in a great ground game they had. Again, finishing 2nd in the pack this year. Frank Will compared this team this morning to that of Sullivan, a team which beat them 14-7.
Probably another game when you look back at the season that Mater Dei thinks they probably should have won.
Shoy has the room, still short of a first down, but closer as they come to the 50.
Pick up about 9 on the play out to about the 47.
This is the first two-way team Mater Dei has played in 1993. Plenty of time, and the deepest, he has gone, intercepted. Second break tonight for North Posey. Jeremy Toten. Right back at you, but with 1:24 left in the half.
After North Posey, you hopefully will be able to do something. You got an opportunity last time on the fumble recovery, but really unable to get any offense going. They went to the air a couple times. I think they're going to probably have to try to do the same thing here. Not a lot of time, only 1:24 until halftime.
Jeremy Toten, familiar name, basketball fans for one. A 6'4", 166-pound junior. Hannah looking for some magic in the second quarter. The longest he has gone. And again, the pass complete to Jason Simmons. And now we've seen the 3rd favorite target of 93 and a first down for the Vikings.
Only the 2nd first down of the night for North Posey. They picked one up with their 2nd possession back in the 1st quarter. Actually, the 3rd possession back in the 1st quarter on an 11-yard run by Akers.
Well, Hannah's forced to pass here regardless because of the time remaining. Now 1:10 left. And you're on the 37-yard line. First down and 10, North Posey, wide outside their side for Mark Hanna and company. Quick to pass. And the second deepest, he has gone. And that is a dead ball. Intercepted. Intercepted again. Wildcats inside the 20.
Eric Waniger again, and we talked about his coverage on the last possession where he almost had a pickoff. Same type of play. In fact, it was almost the same play where it's kind of a floating pass from Hanna. Eric just drops back. He's able to see the ball real well, and he brought it in the catch.
I didn't think he held on to it. A little darker over there. Those lights have been going on and off throughout most of the night. First and 10, we are going the other way. 45 seconds left in the half. You won't see Nathan go to the air here. Just keep it on the ground. Go in the locker room with the momentum. You are up 26-0. And this has worked so well tonight. Jeff McDermott again on the carry. The impressive junior.
Across the 20 to about the 21, and usually you see a team go to a running game like this kind of to kill the clock. They're doing that, but the way that they've been able to run the ball tonight, they're also going to have a chance to pick up some more big yards.
17 seconds and counting. Mater Dei in no hurry. Doug, you're going into the locker room up 26-0. And believe it or not, to some, Mater Dei actually came in this game the underdog. Keep in mind, we've still got 24 minutes at least to go here.
And I think that's going to be the big key, is how North Posey responds with their locker room meetings at halftime. They've got to figure something out offensively across the front line, or maybe a different type of offensive setup in the backfield to get that running attack going.
A comfortable lead, not when these two teams are involved. 26-0 after the first 24. We're at halftime at Reitz Bowl on a Thursday night. It's the 1993 Class 2A sectional on TV 52.
Reputation and quality.
And it was all Mater Dei in that first half when you look at their ability defensively and the job that they did offensively, mainly on the ground. And you look at Jeff McDermott, he's responsible for all 4 touchdowns. 3 offensively, 3-yard run, a 2-yard run, and a 1-yard run. And he also picked up a fumble, ran it 18 yards.
I'm not a coach, but if I were them at halftime, if I'm Mater Dei, I'm saying remember what happened earlier this year.
And you can probably pick 2 or 3 games as far as really remembering things and how they maybe let things get away. And we talked a little bit in the first half that they've really had trouble all season long putting 4 good solid quarters together. But I think right now, with a big lead like this, they're basically going to come out and continue to do what they did in that first half.
Mater Dei begins on the 35-yard line. It's first and 10 for the Wildcats, up 26-0 after the first 24. And Nathan Gable puts it on the ground for a small gain.
Brett Seib on the carry, and you look at the running game of Mater Dei in the first half. It was Seib, it was McDermott. We saw Jason Foles carry the ball as well, and really when you've got 3 guys like that, you can pretty much alternate one in for another and really change with each possession the different ones that's going to carry the ball.
They pick up 1, second down and 9 from the 36. Opening minute of our third quarter. Game 1 of the Class 2A sectional. Through the air, complete. One really to beat, and that was it. He's impressive. He is Brett Seib.
Good for 29 yards and another Mater Dei first down into North Posey territory at the 45. And I think if Mater Dei comes out and does something like that here in the second half, they're really going to confuse this defense in North Posey. They really did not have a lot of success of stopping any of the attempts from Mater Dei back in the first half.
I want to thank my halftime guest, Michael Pointer from the Evansville Courier. And he brought up exactly what everybody else is talking about. Who would have thought that North Posey would have thrown more than Mater Dei in that first half? And it happened just like that. Another small gain as they cross the 45-yard line.
And I think right now you're looking for defensive support out there for North Posey. Jared O'Risky, 6'2", 230, and a senior. We talked about him being the leading tackler. There to make the stop right there. No gain for Mater Dei.
Second and 10 for the Wildcats. The winner here will play the winner of South Spencer and Gibson Southern. Not an easy task either. Looking for a favorite on that game tomorrow night. On paper, it's South Spencer by a lot. In the air, wide open is Emge to the 23-yard line. Here comes the passing of the Mater Dei offense.
And that's what really, I think, scares people when you look at the offense of Mater Dei. Not so much the record coming in, but how many different weapons that they can go to. We saw a good running game from them in the first half. They've been known throughout the season and throughout the years as a passing team, and I think they went away from that a little bit for a reason back in the first half, and now they've come out here in the second half, and it's been successful.
Another first down and 10 for the Wildcats. Opening 2 minutes of our third quarter. 26-0 Mater Dei. 2 split, top of your screen for the Wildcats. It's a passing offense and a little on the ground. Another small gain over the 25-yard line again. Actually backed up and trying to get back to your original line of scrimmage. That was.
One of the defensive ends, Nathan Stone, 6'2", new 218 and a senior there to make the initial contact. A little risky there to make sure Jeff did not get much further.
Mater Dei has lost their last 6 football games. Their bright spot so far in the season, we were there at Enloe Field when they upset the Memorial Tigers. 2nd down and 9. Here's Gable again with plenty of time to pass. Almost overshot that time. Emge a second time around the 10. And again, Gable very fortunate. That was not picked off.
And I think right now you can see, especially on that play right there, that the backs for North Posey are really playing deep, and that's allowing those little short patterns right there and opening for Mater Dei. And you can see nobody was around Greg.
Clock stopped with 9:24 here left in the 3rd quarter. 3rd down, a long 9 here for the Wildcats. Wide outs either side. Emge bottom of your screen. And again, David Shoy to the top. High snap here for Gable to work with. Here is Shoy wide open, and he undershot him. Doug, you and I were talking about the quarterback switch here by Will. We're going into your first game of the sectionals. Nathan Gable, if I can be a critic for a moment, he undershoots a lot.
Well, I think a lot of times in that right there, the first time we've seen him from the shotgun formation tonight, feels like he gets a little bit of pressure, and a lot of times if you start moving out of the pocket, you lose your concentration a little bit and you start to rush yourself.
They give him plenty of time, like the last one. Try it again. Wide outs either side. Again, Emge to the bottom and David Shoy to the top on 3rd and 9. Here again, Gable plenty of time. Deeper. Picked off at about the 10. In the first break in the second half. Goes to North Posey.
And that was something that they got back in the first half, late in the second quarter. Ryan Marvel right there with the pickoff. And that's something he's been doing all season long. He leads his clubs in interception, now with 9 on the season. But you look at the opportunities they got back in that second quarter, they weren't able to take advantage of it.
You didn't hear a lot either from the crowd, or the crowd response from North Posey. It's going to take a little bit to get them back into this ball game. They're still in disbelief from the first half. 1st and 10, we are moving the other way. North Posey tries to ignite a fire under themselves as they try to break the 15-yard line. Let's talk about that Mater Dei defense.
They've really done a job on this offense from the North Posey club. They expected a running game, and that's kind of what we saw back in the first half. They went to the air a little bit, as you alluded to, more than Mater Dei in the first half, but they never really got a good formation going to where they had a good time as far as possession and able to move the ball.
2nd down and 7 for the Vikings of North Posey. They may be in their final 2 quarters of the 1993 season after an excellent campaign. Chase Akers, a sweep to the outside. He's had no problems breaking through that line. The problem comes in the secondary when he's slowed a little bit. That's the story on Akers in 93.
That's about the 15-yard line, so maybe a pickup of 1, but getting back to the defense of Mater Dei a little bit, they have done exactly what they needed to. The 5-man front has been able to fill the holes, something I think that especially Akers is expected to see once he gets to the line of scrimmage. There's usually not too many defensive players around until he gets into the secondary. Mater Dei has really filled the holes all night tonight.
Nothing on either side or up the middle that time on 3rd and 5. I mentioned this is Mater Dei's first 2A team they have played in 93. I was talking to our producer, Rick Goodman, at halftime, and he remembers when Sullivan was a 2A as recently as last year. Sullivan is a 3A school now, and again, Mater Dei fell short 14-7 to that team. First 2A opponent, and right now Mater Dei's up 26-0, and on 4th and 4, North Posey's are going to get rid of it.
And I think right there you can see a little bit of a different offensive set there, a slot back formation with a reverse right there with Jason Simmons, but Mater Dei again responding, not doing anything. And great field position now for the Wildcats about the 34-yard line of North Posey.
That's a dangerous catch by Jacob Mayer. He just held on. You watch as he came forward to that one to get it out to the 35. Those many times are lost.
And a lot of times that could be an opportunity, especially when you've got something going like that. You've had an opportunity with an interception now. North Posey again forced into a situation where they have to punt. Mater Dei is just going to basically try to come out and establish a running game again, although they went away from that a little bit that last possession when they went to the air, or tried to go to the air 5 times.
Second drive of the second half, into the hands and out of the hands. Looking for Jeff McDermott.
And that's that's that pressure, I think, that a lot of times you expect to see with a big front line defensively for North Posey. And you can see right there coming in and really creating a lot of pressure for Nathan in that backfield. Fred Cook, 6'2", 240, and a senior for North Posey.
Longest who's gone without Mater Dei scoring. 6:52 left here in the third quarter. Cats up 26-0. 3 split to the top of your screen. And Nathan Gable wants to put it back on the ground, and they're starting to read that. A little bit better defensively for North Posey.
Try to flank a reverse, something we just saw North Posey do last time before they had the opportunity to get the punt again, and a big stop right there defensively for the North Posey Vikings. Andy Nottingham, 5'11", 200, and a junior.
A lot of impressive juniors here with North Posey. They should be somewhat strong again next year. 24-year head coach Joe Jinglebach. Right now in trouble in the first game of the 93 postseason. On 3rd and 13. Here on the 38. 6.5 left here in the third. Gable, a lot to get back as you just lost 3. Right there is Emge. Inside the 15.
All the way down to about the North Posey 14-yard line. And the second big catch here in the third quarter by the flanker Greg Emge, 5'10", 145, and a senior.
Clock stopped at 6:15 here in the third. On the 14-yard line. Again, Cats move 1st and 10. Bobby Fallowfield getting in the way of the last one, or Emge was inside the 10. Again, 1st and 10, wide outside their side for the Wildcats. It's been their football game so far. Sweep to the outside finds Jason Foles. And Foles tries to get to the 10.
I think right now Mater Dei is just working on emotion and really enthusiasm, the way that they've been able to come out and really dominate the first 2+ quarters that we've seen here tonight. And you can see right there an opportunity, Rudy Wagner, one of the outside linebackers, trying to stop Foles as he got to about the line of scrimmage, but was unable to get to him. Eventually knocked out of bounds by Fallowfield.
2nd down and 6. Ball here on the 11-yard line. 5:57 here to go in the third quarter. No scoring yet in the second half. Sweep to the near side. Having his way inside the 5. A flag on the play.
Foles again on the carry, and you could see as he was coming around the end, maybe a penalty on the blocking right there against the Mater Dei Wildcats. Holding is going to be the call against Mater Dei, so that's going to bring that back.
Penalties really weren't a factor. Turnovers were, but not penalties in the first half, Doug.
Really, you look at the turnovers really for both ball clubs. Obviously, Mater Dei able to take an advantage or more opportunities. And as far as penalties, it was basically defensive encroachment or defensive offsides that was the call against North Posey a couple times.
I want to wish the best of luck to the other 7 in the SIAC as they begin sectional play this weekend. For the most part, tomorrow night. North will play Seymour on Saturday. Right through the middle. That has worked also. Hit hard, and I told you this team does hit hard. And probably the hardest hitter is Jared O'Risky as he stopped Meyer.
Jacob Mayer, the split in with just a little dump pass across the middle. Maybe picked up about a yard, spotted about on the 17 now. And a big play right here for Mater Dei, 3rd and about 12.
Wideouts again will move either side. Emge and Shoy. Emge to the bottom, Shoy to the top. Shoy a big grab earlier. Here's Gable. Runs out of time. Gets it off to Shoy. I told you he was a great receiver.
Pretty good pass right there, too, by Nathan. As you can see, pressure again coming in from the defensive tackle, Fred Cook in North Posey. But good hands there by David. Excellent concentration, and you can see he had to almost come back for that a little bit. Fallowfield was on the coverage right there, but a big pass.
4th and less than 1 here for the Wildcats. 4.5. That clock is moving in the third. Another great catch by Shoy. And Gable has gone more to the air in his first two possessions or drives here than he has the entire first half. Fourth and less than one here for the Wildcats. Some confusion as Emke joins that front line late, and we have flags on the play.
And I think because of the fusion, you're going to see a delay a game called against Mater Dei, so that's going to push them back 5. Now you're looking at a fourth down and about 6.
Some things you can see coming. There's another break for North Posey. But they can't wait too much longer to start controlling the football offensively. Again, you're down 26-0 if you're North Posey. And right now that 7-1 record at this point means nothing.
And you can see the confusion as they had 3 men in the backfield. Finally, Greg got up in a slot position on the far side of the field on the line.
4th and 6 to go here. Gable looking towards the end zone. Jim Fetcher, touchdown! Mater Dei strikes first in the second half. And Fetch gets his name in the book again.
That was a perfect pass thrown by Nathan right there. You could see Fetcher kind of on a down and out pattern as he was heading toward the post or the corner of the end zone, and laid perfectly where he's going to keep that stride going, not have to stop. And you could tell as soon as he got to the 5-yard line, he had his man beat.
The point after have missed the last 2, make that the last 3. But the score reads in favor of the Mater Dei Wildcats. 32-0 and 4:02 remaining in the third quarter on a Thursday night. High school football's sectional.
And even though it took them a little while longer this time as far as what they were able to do here in the second quarter versus what we saw, or the third quarter, what we saw back in the first and second. They went 8 plays their first scrimmage, ended up with an interception that gave North Posey a chance, but they went 3 downs and a punt, and then another good drive. Starting from their own, from the North Posey 34, went 8 plays, capped off by 11-yard touchdown pass from Nathan Gable to the tight end Jim Fetcher.
A lot of work to do for the Vikings. They'll move from the eye. Hannah is going to go back to the air. Just able to grab Bobby Fallowfield. Fallowfield did a nice job of holding on and getting out to the 38-yard line. I've talked about him even last year during basketball season. He is one outstanding athlete. Never gives up.
Very good athlete, and that kind of is the determination right there, I think, that North Posey is going to have to come out with, especially here the next 2 or 3 possessions that they get. Try to eliminate a chance for Mater Dei to get their offense back on the field again. You can see right there he was hit about the 35, but struggled up close to the 39. 2nd down and 1.
Wide outsider side, but it's back to Chase Akers. And Mr. Akers has not been successful here tonight.
And that kind of shows you right there the tenacity of this Mater Dei defense, the way they've been playing all season long. Very frustrated at this point, and I think right now is a chance to kind of let everything out a little bit. You can see there that Akers is not doing anything on the ground, and you look at his numbers coming in. A great job by this Mater Dei defense.
3rd down and 1 after the nice gain by Fallowfield. Hey, even taking a yard loss on that last one. Let's call it 3rd down and 2. 2.5 remaining here in the third. Here's Hanner again with time to pass. Looking for the first down into the hands of Jason Simmons. And will have that first down, just their 3rd of the night.
Slot back 5'10", 161 on a senior. And you could tell that when Akers got hit, they gave him his forward progress, and that was not real pleasing to a lot of the Mater Dei fans. They thought they had pushed him all the way back inside the 35, but now another first down for the North Posey Vikings, and as Darren just said, that has not happened too many times tonight.
Well, Akers and the rest of them know that if nothing develops here in the way of scoring, it's going to be an extreme long shot to come back and win in what is now week number 9. Hannah quickly finds room at the 50, and you're quickly stopped. They've had a successful passing game, but again we bring up the Mater Dei defense. They're right there, and they go no further. Case in point, Bobby Fallowfield.
And I think right now North Posey's just trying those short patterns just to get some momentum going and try to get some good field position. They're getting close to the Mater Dei 50, that one all the way up to the 48.
32-0 Mater Dei. 1.5 left in the third quarter. And again, Hannah will come from the eye. Hannah will take this one himself. Hanna, who had no room upfield, picks up that first down across the 45-yard line. Nice run by Hanna.
Now, when you look really at the time of possession, obviously Mater Dei controlling field territory and really moving the ball well all the times that they've had the ball. This is the longest time that North Posey has had the ball all night long. This is going to be play number 6 coming up here in this drive.
Another 1st and 10. Yeah, the most success for the Vikings. I'll give them that. Here's Hanna. More of a passing game. And a complete again to Jason Simmons. Simmons, fallow field. Fisher, all getting plenty of opportunities tonight to catch that football.
And I think you're seeing pretty good success right now from the Vikings, and I think one reason is the secondary for Mater Dei wants to make sure that nobody gets behind them. You don't want to give up an easy touchdown. You can see right there, Jim Fetcher, one of the middle linebackers, or one of the linebackers for Mater Dei, also the cornerback Eric Weininger right there to make the stop.
And again, when you look how little they passed the ball this year, Simmons, Fisher, and Fallowfield, 8 catches between the 3 in 8 weeks. That's it on 2nd and 5. Here again is Hanna. Hanna runs out of time. Mater Dei going to read it and knock him back for the loss.
Jacob Mayer, again, the defensive end, I think he kind of was the one there first that forced Mark out of the pocket. And as a quarterback, you can kind of hear the footsteps coming. As he started working his way towards the near side, that pushed him out of the pocket and really gave the Mater Dei team across the front line a chance to get in there and kind of fill that hole.
Final seconds here of the 3rd. Score still reads in favor of Mater Dei, but they enter the dangerous 4th quarter. More on that when our broadcast continues. Thursday night, the sectionals have begun. Deepest he has gone. They were looking for pass interference. I don't know. Marty Fisher didn't like it.
I don't think that there was a call right there. I think the ball was up in the air, and as he was going after it, the ball was kind of overthrown a little bit, and he felt like maybe he got held back a little bit. But a good defensive coverage, again, by that secondary by Mater Dei. And now's the situation. If you're North Posey, 4th down and 10, you're not going to get the ball that many more times, so you're going to have to go every time you get the chance.
Absolutely. Here's Hanna. Faked one handoff and gave it to another. Billy Pogue gets his first call. Still going to be short of the 1st down and a late flag.
Big hit right there by the middle linebacker, Jim Fetcher. And the officials right now getting together to discuss what the flag's going to be. It's going to be a dead ball foul. Personal foul called against Mater Dei.
You don't need anything against you going into the final 12 minutes. Another help for the North Posey Vikings. Looking ahead, and again, still 11:42 left in this one. South Spencer plays Gibson Southern tomorrow night. Should Mater Dei hold on, and South Spencer wins, they'll play that game over in Rockport. If Gibson Southern wins, that game will be here at Reitz Bowl. That considering, again, if Mater Dei holds on. 11:42 left in regulation.
And right now the officials getting ready to mark the distance off against Mater Dei. That was a 4th and 10 situation, so the ball is going to go over to Mater Dei. But it was a dead ball foul after the play, so you're going to push the Mater Dei Wildcats back probably close to the 20-yard line. It's going to remain their ball.
I read an interesting stat in the paper this morning when we were looking ahead to South Spencer and company. After beating 5 teams with a combined record of 10 and 30, the Rebels lost their last 3 consecutively to teams with a combined record of 21 and 3. They have faced better talent even though they've lost in the past 3 weeks. And again, I would give South Spencer the edge going into tomorrow night's game with the Titans.
And they don't know much about Mater Dei. Similar situation than North Posey. They played North Posey the second to the last week of the season and got beat by this striking ball club.
On 1st and 25, this is Sibe. And Sibe is taken down at the 19-yard line.
Just like that, the breakthrough, and you could tell the way that running attack worked for the Wildcats back in the 1st and 2nd quarters. They came out in the 3rd quarter and went to the air a little bit, and I think tried to confuse that defense of North Posey even more. Now they're going back to the traditional thing we saw in the 1st half on the ground.
Mater Dei trying to add to their score of 32-0 over North Posey. And you start to think the Cinderella season for the Vikings is about to come to an end in 11 minutes, 18 seconds.
Not bad. About a 63-yard pickup on that play. 1st and 10 now from the North Posey 19.
Sweep to the outside. How about this guy tonight? Jason Foles picks up another first down, able to hold on inside the 10.
And right now, Mater Dei is doing exactly what they plan to do, I think, during their practice all week long. Trying to come in with different types of offenses, go away from the usual, and that's going to kind of give you an advantage because North Posey, other than one team really that had a chance to see him this year. I talked to Joe before the game. He saw the Castle game, and everything else he saw was on video.
From the 7, first down and goal. Wideouts again, either side. What a good job of mixing it up for Nathan Gable also. Gable again puts it on the ground. Now inside the 5. Here he is again, Jason Foles, a sweep to the near side.
I think maybe a surprise to see him in the offensive lineup. We have not seen a lot of him back there with our coverage this year. 6 feet and 155 and a junior. Used to seeing him mainly as a defensive cornerback.
And there on the stop was Oriski and Nathan Strong.
Wildcats. Trying to do what they've done a couple of times. A poor record after the regular season. Go as far as you can go. 2nd down, 4 to go here for the Wildcats. Again, wideouts either side. Gable goes to the outside and take them back for a loss. That almost worked. Doug.
Brought down right there by Chase Akers, the outside linebackers, and a pretty good job right there with the quarterback option. We have not seen Mater Dei use that too much with either David Choi or Nathan Gable, and you could see a good read there by Nathan. He knew exactly when to get rid of the ball.
A loss of about 2 yards.
Lost 2 on the play, and a 3rd down and about 7 here to go.
Down at 7.
9:35 here left in the 4th quarter. Mater Dei trying to add 32-0. Maybe looking towards the end zone. Shorter to Foles. Foles looks to the outside, and Foles taken down at the 3.
Cornerback Bobby Fallowfield on the coverage right there, and he was not going to let him in the end zone.
Driven out of bounds.
Picked up about 3 on the play. So now you're looking at 4th and goal from the 3.
Really, field goal isn't even in your mind right now. Not the way you played this one, either on the ground or more recently through the air here in the second half. On 4th down, about 2 here to go. 8:50 left in the 4th quarter, and you are up 32-0. Need to get in the end zone. Again. Quick pass. In and out, and a flag.
It's going to be another first down and 1st and goal from the 1.
Wow.
Defensive pass interference, I believe, the call. And you could almost see that from up here because contact was made before the ball even was close.
A great season for North Posey and their football fans. About to come to an end here tonight.
It'll be 4th down and goal for the Wildcats.
Records are deceiving, aren't they? You have to look at schedule strength. And we knew about the talents of Mater Dei coming in tonight a little bit better with them appearing on TV 52 now for the 4th time. You read so much about this impressive team of North Posey, but again, their season is over very shortly. Hanging on the goal line, touchdown Wildcats.
Quarterback Nathan Gable with the keeper from 1 yard out. 2nd touchdown here in the second half for Mater Dei.
That, my friend, puts it away. 38-0.
You're setting to the holding. Able to attempt the point after.
Like I said, points after haven't been a strong point tonight. But when you're scoring like the Wildcats, it really didn't matter. That one, however, is good. 8:36 left. 39-0 Mater Dei. High school football's Thursday night on TV 52.
Paul's Farm.
Bowl on a Thursday night at the Modern-Day Wildcats, or 8 minutes, 29 seconds away from advancing to week number 2 of the 93 postseason.
And what a great game offensively as well as defensively for these Wildcats. We saw them all season long and kind of knew that because of the talents that they had out there, they were going up against some bigger schools as far as number-wise, and a lot of times that happens year in and year out. But once the postseason starts, they get involved with schools similar to their size, and it seems like every year they come out and are very successful.
Mater Dei now focuses their attention to the winner of South Spencer and Gibson Southern. You can bet they will be in attendance tomorrow night, as many of the Titans and Rebels were here tonight.
Risky on the carry right there, picked up about 4 out to the 32, so second down now and 6 for North Posey. And they have yet really to establish a good offensive possession.
Chase Akers tripped up as he comes to the 35.
And that's kind of been the story all night long for the Vikings. They really have not been able to get anything started. That defensive line for Mater Dei doing a good job getting in there and really shutting down any holes. Steve Beck, one of the defensive linemen, 6 feet 190, there to make initial hit right there.
You know, I said at the top of the season, it was said at the top of the season, Mater Dei will have a pretty good season. Fans will have to be patient. And so you had to wait until the postseason. But like I told you during the Harrison loss, during the Memorial win, this team was going to surprise a lot of teams when it came postseason time. Someone in a Mater Dei jacket asked me tonight before the game, Darren, who do you like? I said Mater Dei, and they laughed.
Well, I think the kids realized, and obviously Frank and his staff realized, they had the talent. It was just a matter of maybe getting a break early and being able to take advantage of it. Obviously, their competition at this level knew what to expect, because as we talked in the first half, you talked to most of the coaches that were involved in this area sectional, they still looked at Mater Dei as one of the tougher teams to beat.
They've been in almost every game. I say almost every game. Not too kosher last weekend against the Reitz Panthers when they were blown out 31-6. But other than that, this is the best 1-7 team in southwestern Indiana. They will prove that as the weeks progress. First and 10 for North Posey. 6:40 here to go in the contest. Pitch to the outside. Chase Akers trying to find some room. Akers trying to get to the 45.
Get a chance now to see some of the secondary people and some of the underclassmen for Mater Dei come in. That tackle made right there by Chad Carr, 5'8", 130, and a junior for the Wildcats.
6.5 left. Something else we talked about with Mater Dei is they are very, very young. Akers finally breaks one in the back, tries to get out to the 45. Akers, even though he is speedy, has been hit hard tonight and stopped for the most part, and trying to get to the 40.
That's something that he really has not been accustomed to too much this year. We talked about his numbers coming in, averaging almost 9 yards per carry, and his quickness and I think the ability of his line to really create some holes. His fullback in front of him, Gerald Risky, does a good job as well, but they have really been shut down tonight.
Risky's had 8 touchdowns this year. Akers 15. Nothing so far tonight for the Vikings. Back on the ground. Here's Akers trying to break the 40 again, and he stopped.
And this is kind of the attack that you expected to see from North Posey at the beginning of the game. And we talked about their inability to really get anything going. That first possession, they had 2 downs. They ran twice. Then they tried to put the ball in the air, and that was the interception. And that's really what got Mater Dei started.
This is 3rd down and 5 for North Posey. 5:20 and time running out on the Vikings. From the eye again. More on the ground and more success. Jared O'Risky out to the 18. And we have a flag. Maybe a late hit.
Big play right there in the first breakaway that we've seen O'Risky be able to get tonight. And again on the play right there, Chad Carr. And the back official threw the flag. Probably is going to be a face mask with the tackle. And that's what it's going to be. So that's going to be added on after the gain of to the 19.
Clock stopped, 5:09 left, 39-0 Mater Dei. Although North Posey's season will not finish on an up note, they'd like to score something here in their final game of 93. On the 9, first and goal. Oh, sweep to the outside.
Up across the 5-yard line to about the 4. Pick up a 5 on the play for Chase. Second and goal now from the 4. And really the first chance that North Posey fans have had an ability to get excited about anything tonight.
But most of the noise you're hearing is coming from right down in front of us. They are the Mater Dei fans. The student section. Impressive tonight. Way to go, Mater Dei. Here's Akers. Again held short of the goal line. I like this Thursday night crowd. Call it a school night. Call it a great turnout.
I think if they could get something worked together with the entire school system here in Vanderburgh County and maybe the SIAC, it might be something different to try. I know that they've been working hard to Vanderburgh School Corporation the past couple years about trying to increase attendance at the ball games. And I think if they instituted a regular Thursday night game, that would make the coaches a lot happier and also would be able to get some more fans.
Akers holds on for the first touchdown for the Vikings, so they will not be shut out in their final game of 93. Nice juggle by Akers to bring that one in for the first. And North Posey is on the board.
Took him till 3:53 left in this ball game to get on the scoreboard. Chase Akers gets his 16th touchdown of the season from 2 yards out.
3:53 left. First chance to see the point after tonight by the Vikings. And Bobby Fallowfield for the point after. It is up and it is good. We will keep it here at 39-7 in favor of Mater Dei. And remind you, this broadcast authorized and produced solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Indiana High School Athletic Association and WAZ TV 52 is prohibited. Our producers tonight, Rick Goodman and Cindy Billings. Jim Johnson back at Master Control with Greg Grodius. Double team it and Master Control for Thursday night football. And it'll be a successful one for Mater Dei.
3:53 left. Now with a 32-point lead, and you kind of figure North Posey might try to get the ball back and maybe try to score again. Maybe expect an onside kick here.
Nothing else to lose. 3:53 left. Perhaps. Perhaps not. Chad Carr to the far side of the field. And it's first and 10 for the Mater Dei Wildcats. And as Doug said, the future stars, future starters maybe of next year. Out comes the bench for Frank Will. 3:53 left. 39-7 Mater Dei.
I think you look at this overall picture, what a great job by the entire Mater Dei organization. The coaching staff got these guys ready for this week. And it's been, I think, tough probably week in and week out when you look at the way that they've gone through the regular season. They knew that once postseason started, that kind of gave them a new life. They could forget about what happened during the regular season, learn from your mistakes a little bit, and now a chance to advance to next week.
New faces and new places. Matt Velker on the carry. Quarterback now is Chris Kester, and they are very high on him. He is just a sophomore.
He is going to be a good quarterback. 6'5", 195, and as Darren said, just a sophomore. So you know that with that height, he is going to be a pretty good quarterback, especially when it comes to the passing game.
Andy Hockey on that carry on second down and 5. Velker had the last. Hockey with that one. Clock moving, 3:10 left. Mater Dei will advance. And the biggest part of their week is over before Friday morning even gets here. You can bet many of the Wildcats and the coaching staff are in the grandstands tomorrow night. South Spencer and Gibson Southern. In and out. Pass intended for Kevin Paul. Another impressive sophomore for Frank Will.
5'10", 150, and you can see right there, pass pass a little bit underthrown by Chris, and I think because this might be a little bit of pressure on all these kids, they want to get in there and obviously do the best that they can. A lot of times you try a little bit too hard.
2:52 left. 4th and 5. Why not? Not the best of snaps. But Lynchnick got rid of it anyway. Down to the 29, and Lynchnick really had to reach for that one, and he's not a small guy either at 6'5", 200, the sophomore.
Pretty good athletic ability right there. And for an opportunity for Dan just to get the ball, much less have enough time to get off a good punt like that. Good coverage downfield. Kevin Paul right there to make the stop.
2:40 left. North Posey takes over on the 31st down and 10. Fourth meeting ever between the two schools, and Mater Dei will have a perfect 4-0 against the Vikings of North Posey. A couple of great careers in a football uniform coming to an end for a couple here tonight for the Vikings. Chase Akers, Jared Oriski, quarterback Hannah. Here's Jeremy Toten. He'll be your starting quarterback next year for North Posey.
Looking downfield and trying to get a big chunk in a hurry. Trying to find Chris Weimer, 5'9", 145, and a senior.
We'll see Chris again, along with a couple others in basketball season. North Posey basketball coming to TV 52 in the coming months. 2:12 left here.
The ball was intended for Weimer.
You can see Mater Dei continues to get the substitutes in and off the field. This is a good chance, I think, for Frank Will and his staff to give some of the underclassmen some playoff experience, and it's really going to pay off next week if you do have some key injuries, but also next year when you look at what these underclassmen are able to do.
Looking ahead, North Posey returns to TV 52. Isn't this fitting? Against the Mater Dei Wildcats on December 17th. High school basketball begins November 30th right here.
3rd down and 10 for the Vikings. The ball resting on their own 35.
3rd down and 10 for North Posey. 2:07 left. Again on 3rd and 10. Quarterback here is Jeremy Toten. Nice, impressive athlete again at 6'4", about 170. Toten running out of time inside the 20.
Aggressive, very personal album, and it's, you know, to me it's his finest album just because of that.
Good pressure from that defensive front line.
4th and 10, they get rid of it. Big win for Mater Dei. Makes you
Adam Black on that last stop with the sack. 5'10", 150, and a sophomore.
They'll get rid of it on 4th and 23. Not the best of kicks. Is going to die inside the 45. Take a North Posey roll to about the 45, where it's 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. And the clock stopped with 1:13 left in this one.
Great win for Mater Dei, and Frank Will and his staff take this time to congratulate Joe Jingleball and his staff on an excellent season coming in. Ranked number 8 as far as Class 2A in the state this week. Finished the season with a record of 7-2.
1:10 left, all of 70 seconds for the Wildcats to start preparing again for next week. I imagine they get the day off tomorrow. Out across the 40. Second call for Matt Velker.
Matt, 5'11", 200 pounds and just a sophomore, so he is another one, and especially with that size, you figure he is going to be kind of what a Brett Seib is to that running game for Mater Dei the next couple years.
2nd and 3, so a gain of 7 for Velker. And Chris Kester, the quarterback. And an official timeout.
Looks like maybe some equipment adjustment to Matt. Chin strap coming unloose, and now he's ready to go.
Inside of 30 seconds, 39-7, Mater Dei. Bring another one up the middle for Velker, and Velker close to the 26-yard line.
Another Mater Dei first down. Clock's going to stop to move the chains. And once everybody gets set, they're going to start the clock, and that could be the last play. What a big win here for Mater Dei.
Final seconds dwindle down at Reitz Bowl. It's just Thursday night, but that's fine with the Mater Dei Wildcats. 39-7, and they can enjoy the weekend until it's back to work next week.
They will be advancing, and I think, as we've alluded through the entire telecast tonight, the people involved around this area knew that Mater Dei was a lot better than that 1-7 record. The strength of their schedule had a lot to do with it, and just overall heart. I mean, they came out and they played exactly the way that they had to. They got the breaks. They were able to take advantage of them early, and it was basically all Mater Dei here at the Reitz Bowl tonight.
39-7.
That damn couch, we had that damn couch for 20 years. Should have kept the plastic on it. Listen, Snoop Doggy Dog, you need to get a jobby job.
Boy, take care of the house while I'm gone. Clean up your room, take out the garbage. I don't want these fast-hair girls up in here, you hear me? And definitely don't let the dog pound up in here. I mean that.
And don't be messing with the 8-track. Loan me $5.
So much drama in the LBC, it's kinda hard being Snoop D-O-double-G, but I somehow, some way keep coming up with funky ass hits like every single day. May I kick a little something for the G's and make a few hits as I breeze through. 2 in the morning and the party still jumping cause my mama ain't home. I got some freaks in the living room getting it on.